Hi there, I'm Bernardo Sacconi, professional multi-instrumentalist and composer from Florence, Italy. During my 15 years professional career, I've scored movies, won several competitions as a performer and composer, recorded more than 10 albums, and also played in international jazz festivals such as the Northeast Jazz Festival, the Mozart Festival, and Corfu Jazz World. Here I am, super excited to share with you my first album as a band leader. My deepest ocean. My sincerest way to share with you my musical story, to let you explore my deepest emotions and feelings through music, and dive straight into my subconscious. The first 4 pieces were recorded by a septet with 4 saxophones, with Stefano Negri on alto saxophone, Dario Cecchini on baritone and soprano, Matteo Zecchi on tenor, and Tommaso Mannelli on tenor and soprano, Manrico Seghi on piano, me on double bass, and Giovanni Gargini on drums. The last 3 tunes were recorded by a quartet with Federico Calabretta on piano, Matteo Zecchi on tenor saxophone, Giovanni Gargini on drums, and me on double bass, electric bass, guitar and vocals on the last song. The opening track of the album is dedicated to Giannutri, a very small island off the shores of Tuscany. I went there in 2013, and the crystal clear water inspired me to write a tune to describe its incredible beauty. Giannutri represents the happy place that we all have in our hearts, the childhood location that makes us feel happy, calm and reassured. It also represents the mother's womb, a celebration of the water element and the primitive start of all life forms. The second tune is Tricotism by Oscar Pettiford, who influenced me enormously as both a double bass player and a composer. I wrote the arrangement featuring 4 saxophones and using several arranging techniques inspired by the jazz's most famous orchestras, such as the Count Basie's Orchestra and the Thad Jones May Lewis Big Band. The saxophone special on this track is actually Pettiford's solo on the Lucky Thompson 1956 album Tricotism, which I transposed 2 octaves higher and harmonized for 4 saxophones. Shadows on the East Side, the third track, is a slow ballad that I wrote and arranged for my jazz composition master exam back in 2013 and is deeply influenced by the Afro-American composer Charles Mingus. The fourth track is called On the Ridge of Madness, and it represents a very dark moment of my life. When the tragic pandemic hit, it completely destroyed not only many people's lives, but also all dreams and future plans for us musicians, which led me to fall in a major depression that made me struggle to keep myself straight and not to fall into the abyss. I wrote this piece during this tough period, and I named it this way because I was feeling like walking on a very thin ridge between 2 ravines. The contrast between the 2 main melodies, inspired by the Franco-Flemish composers of the Renaissance, and the free chaotic middle part, wanted to describe this inner fight to keep myself whole through this difficult moment. While living this very hard period, I decided to get some help and do some professional psychotherapy. During this process, my therapist once asked me to write some thoughts on the circularity of life's events, and so I decided to describe it with music, and I composed Circular Motion. The very dark minor atmosphere and the repetitive groove in 5/4 describe my anxious state of mind, gradually opening up into a more open B section and circularly alternating as bad and good things in life are. During the therapy, I discovered the Japanese philosophy wabi-sabi, and I got so inspired by this idea that accepting imperfections helps us to find joy in the simplest pleasures of life, and I decided to write a song about it, influenced by Joe Hisaishi and Ryuichi Sakamoto. In December 2022, after achieving my personal balance with the help of music and of the smallest things that we often take for granted in life, I met a person coming from very far away who completely changed my life and taught me what true love really is. She inspired me to write and sing the last song of the album for her, From Very Far. The cracks filled with gold on the ocean floor in the album cover, designed by Wally Di Lino, are a metaphorical representation of all the deepest wounds in our souls and how precious these are. This concept inspired by the wabi-sabi philosophy, recalls the Japanese kintsugi art of filling cracks in pottery with gold, highlighting how imperfections and our wounds are our greatest wealth. The album is now available on Spotify, YouTube Music, and on all main digital distribution platforms. You can find the music videos of the live recording session of the first 4 tracks of the album here on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.